What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the OG family. Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe to my channel only if you want to. But look, my beautiful people, we got these sitcom actors who didn't know passed away. You know what I'm saying? This is an interesting video to do for the channel, so why not? You feel me? Y'all was asking for it, so shit. Let's get into the video though. Let's get this video to 3,000 likes.
TV creates kind of an immortality for its actors that can seem surreal, so it can be jarring to learn that certain stars of the small screen have died. With that in mind, here are some sitcom actors who you may not have known have passed away. From 1986 to 1990, NBC fell in love with Alf, a fuzzy, smart-mouthed alien from the planet Melmac who occasionally tried to eat the family cat. The father of that family was Willie Tanner, played by Max Wright. He was the straight man to the wisecracking Alf puppet, an experience that eventually soured him enough that he reportedly didn't bother saying goodbye to anyone on his last day of work on the series. In 1995, Wright was diagnosed with lymphoma, which went into remission after radiation and chemotherapy treatments. His work was on the decline after Alf, but after his diagnosis and subsequent remission, he started to find joy again. In 2000, he told People magazine, "I came back to life after being on the edge with a tremendous gusto for the things I love." Among other things, Wright landed a regular gig on the Norm Macdonald sitcom Norm and received a Tony nomination for his work on the Anton Chekhov play Ivanov. Unfortunately, Wright's lymphoma didn't stay in remission, and he succumbed to the disease in 2019 at the age of 75.
Lisa 2019, so that's super recent too, man. Damn.
Is best known for her role as Lori Foreman on That 70s Show. For the first 5 seasons, she played Eric's older sister, but in the 6th season, she was replaced by Christina Moore. In 2012, Kelly told ABC News that alcoholism was the reason for her departure, and she also said that her alcohol abuse began after she suffered a miscarriage. As she explained it, "I had lost a baby. As a result of that, I lost it. I lost everything, and I was abusing alcohol." At the time, Kelly said that she was ready for a comeback, but unfortunately, that wasn't in the cards. From 2010 to 2013, she had a number of run-ins with the law. She was charged with driving under the influence in 2010, and in 2013, she was arrested for DUI again when she reportedly parked her car on California's I-5 freeway, blocking a lane of traffic. She was also arrested for some violent...
Damn, like, look, man, this whole Hollywood thing, like, I think I'm ready for Hollywood. I think I'm made for that. You feel me? I got thick skin, but you gotta be resilient mentally, man, because you're gonna hear a lot of no's, man. You're gonna get stepped on. It's okay, but you can make it through this stuff, man.
Crimes. She was charged with corporal injury upon a spouse in March 2012, and that November, both she and her husband, Robert Joseph Gillum, were arrested after an alleged domestic disturbance. Kelly's battle with addiction didn't end well. She died shortly after checking into rehab in August 2013. The Los Angeles County coroner deemed that her death was due to combined drug intoxication in an accidental overdose. She was 43. John Ritter was a staple of American TV for decades. Best known as Jack Tripper on the long-running sitcom Three's Company, he didn't slow down after that show or its spin-offs ended. In the late 80s, he helped coin the term dramedy with the ABC show Cooperman.
That's crazy though too, man, because this dude right here wasn't he on that movie Twister? Had to be.
In the 90s, he led the political satire Hearts of Fire as senatorial aide John
That's crazy.
Hartman. He also had memorable film appearances like 1996 Oscar-winning Sling Blade. Ritter's final role was protective father Paul Hennessy on the ABC sitcom 8 Simple Rules. In September 2013, while rehearsing for the show, he was taken to the hospital after vomiting and complaining of chest pains. Initially, he was treated for a heart attack, but it was later discovered that he had a tear in his aorta. He died during surgery a week shy of his 55th birthday.
Wasn't supposed to happen, Mom. Not now. When we were old and gray and living someplace warm.
Shelley Morrison enjoyed a long, fruitful acting career, including regular appearances as Sister Seastow on the Sally Field starring 60s sitcom The Flying Nun. But the role she became best known for wouldn't come until 1999 with the season 1 finale of Will and Grace. Rosario is mentioned as early as the series premiere, but we don't actually meet her until the season 1 finale when Karen gets Jack to marry Rosario so she won't be deported. Rosario wasn't meant to show up beyond that episode, but she proved to be popular enough to stick around. While she works as Karen's maid over the course of the series, it's eventually revealed that she has a degree in clinical psychology, performed with Jennifer Lopez, and somehow rakes in $350,000 per year. Morrison was asked to reprise the role for the 2017 Will and Grace revival, but by that point she had retired from acting for good. In December 2019, news broke that she had passed away from heart failure after a brief illness at the age of 83.
Rosie and I would do other normal couple things. You know, like get into a fight at IKEA.
While he died much too young, Merlin Santana had a decades-long career in sitcoms. In the early 90s, he played the recurring role of Stanley, boyfriend of Rudy Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Shortly after, his character Marcus proved to be one of the most popular parts of Getting By, a short-lived sitcom about two single mothers and their children. Merlin's last big regular sitcom spot was as young ladies' man Romeo Santana on the WB's The Steve Harvey Show. That show ended in 2002, the same year that Santana was killed in his car in Los Angeles. He was only 26 years old when he was shot in the head by a man named Damian Andre Gates, who apparently erroneously believed that Santana had been making advances toward his girlfriend. Gates was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences plus 70 years in prison for killing Santana and for attempting to kill fellow actor Brandon Quinton Adams, who was in the car with Santana. During home
and that's crazy too, man. Like, that girl set him up, though. If you've seen the real story behind that, that girl set him up, man.
Its 8 seasons, one of the most popular characters was also its least visible. With his face always obscured, usually by offense, Earl Hyneman's Wilson W. Wilson Jr. doled out Yoda-like wisdom to the tool-obsessed Tim Taylor. Audiences didn't get to see Wilson's entire face until the series finale's curtain call, though in the meantime, the show occasionally had fun with the audience by showing the bottom half of his face, but not the top. Hyneman had been working in film and TV since the 60s, mainly in smaller roles. His big screen credits include the 1981 military school drama Taps and the 1985 western Silverado. Before Home Improvement, he was best known as Detective Lieutenant Bob Reed on the soap opera Wright.
That's crazy.
4 years after Home Improvement ended, the man behind Wilson had to give another goodbye. In December 2003, Hyneman died of lung cancer at the age of 61.
Damn.
While it's not the only thing he ever did, Gary Coleman will always be remembered for the role of Arnold Jackson on Different Strokes. Arnold was the younger of 2 Harlem-born brothers taken in by successful businessman Philip Drummond. Todd Bridges played Arnold's older brother Willis, the namesake of Coleman's classic catchphrase.
What you talking about, Willis?
Coleman dealt with severe health issues his whole life. While he was adamant about not publicly sharing specifics, it is known that his short stature was due to kidney disease. He underwent at least 2 kidney transplants that were ultimately unsuccessful.
A
year before his passing, he had heart surgery, after which he was seriously ill with pneumonia. While nothing has been made officially public, it seems likely that one or more of these issues ultimately led to Coleman's death. He passed away in 2010 after falling down the stairs in his home and hitting his head. He'd suffered a number of seizures in the preceding months, and it's believed that those seizures may have been what caused the fall. The injury eventually led to a brain hemorrhage from which he didn't recover.
And while that storyline is too familiar,
I ain't know it was like that. I know he fell down the steps. I knew he died.
this kid struggling to find his way as an adult only to die young. Each time it's just as tragic.
Years before Will Smith was punching out aliens, he was better known as half of the hip-hop duo DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. That fame helped him eventually bridge the worlds of hip-hop and acting with the NBC sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Smith played a fictionalized version of himself who was sent to live with his aunt and uncle in the Los Angeles neighborhood Bel-Air after a confrontation with a violent gang. Over the course of the series, James Avery would become one of the most well-loved father figures on American TV as Smith's Uncle Phil. Besides Fresh Prince, Avery was also known for his exceptional voice work. He was the voice of Shredder in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series, and James Rhodes, aka War Machine, in the 90s Iron Man cartoon. As for his live-action work, he didn't have too many huge roles besides Uncle Phil. In a 2007 interview with the New York Film Academy, he was candid about missing out on the spotlight, saying, "You can either be a movie star or an actor. I'm an actor, but I've done pretty good." Avery died in December 2013 due to complications from open-heart surgery. He was 68. In the first 4 seasons of the 80s sitcom Growing Pains, Andrew Koenig played Boner, best friend to Kirk Cameron's Mike Seaver. His character left the show in season 4 to drop out of college and join the Marine Corps. Koenig's acting work after Growing Pains wasn't extensive, though he had some other memorable claims to fame. He was the son of Walter Koenig, best known as the original Chekhov on Star Trek. Andrew Koenig also starred in one of the most famous Bond films of all time. He played the Joker in Batman Dead End, in which the Dark Knight finds himself facing the xenomorphs from the Alien films, as well as the ruthless hunters from the Predator franchise. In the 90s and 2000s, Koenig became an outspoken activist and gained notoriety in his efforts to draw more attention to China's support to the military dictatorship ruling Burma. In 2008, he was arrested for interrupting Pasadena's Rose Parade by blocking a float advertising the Beijing Summer Olympics and holding up a sign that said, "China, free Burma." In February 2010, Koenig's body was found hanging from a tree in Vancouver's Stanley Park. His father confirmed at a press conference that his son had taken his own life. He later wrote on his website that Andrew died after a long battle with depression and urged other depression sufferers to reach out for help. David Strickland's acting career was tragically short. In the 90s, he had popular recurring roles on the sitcoms Sister Sister and Mad About You. In 1996, he was tapped for the part he'll forever be known for, young, eager rock reporter Todd on the Book Shield starring Suddenly Susan. Behind the scenes, Strickland suffered from mental health and substance abuse issues. His Suddenly Susan co-star Nestor Carbonell told People magazine in 1999, if he had an episode where he fell off the wagon, it would be once every 2 months, sometimes once every 6 months. He'd have a bad episode and we'd all worry about it for a night or two, and he'd resurface as if nothing had happened. He'd always resurface. Strickland was reportedly off his prescribed medication and upset about much of his role in the 1999 rom-com Forces of Nature being left on the cutting room floor when he and Andy Dick flew to Las Vegas in March 1999. The pair reportedly bounced from strip club to strip club, partying hard, and on March 22nd, Strickland was found in his motel room where he'd hanged himself with a bedsheet. The writers of Suddenly Susan decided to have art imitate life. In the season 3 finale, Todd's co-workers panic when he goes missing. They tell stories about him, interspersed with clips of out-of-character interviews with the cast. The episode ends with the police calling to report his fate, which is left ambiguous. If you or anyone you know is having suicidal...
And for real, man, like, look at this right here. If you really feel some type of way, man, call. Get help. There's nothing wrong with getting help, man. I think this is the end of that video right there, but look, get help, you feel me? Because mental health, man, that's one of the things that people, like, we need to really talk about is our mental health. That can solve most of these problems that we're having in today's times, you know what I'm saying? We need to really evaluate ourselves and get ourselves together, you know what I'm saying? Our hormones are everywhere because we're putting all this trash into our bodies. It's a list of things that we can go down. People that's making shit like this, you know, depression, man. Like, say hi to somebody, like especially us black dudes. I'm speaking to us. Y'all still here? Look, when we see each other out, speak. It's already bad enough that other people don't speak to us. You feel me? Not like that, you know what I'm saying? They act more afraid of us until they speak. You know, have conversations with people. So put a smile on your face and actually get out there and meet people, man. Try to be social. Be a melting pot, man. Like, learn from different people. But, like I always say, spread love because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. See you in the next video. Hope y'all like this video right here. Follow my Instagram, and I'm out.
I'ma give him time to fold up. She think I'ma flex on her when I roll up. Shit, from the toes up. When it comes to my drip, it's different. Get the bricks, flip it. When it